everybody. I hope you are having a lovely summer day. I am still using scraps to make elements to go in my flow-ish style journals. Today we're making two envelopes. We're making two different styles of envelopes. We're making photo corners, we're making some glassine envelopes, and we're making a cigarette box. And all of these things will fold up nicely and go in the little flow journal that I've been working on. We did a little part one for this journal where we talked about creating ATCs and tabs, bookmarks, skinny books, sewn books, accordion books, border strips with the scraps that we have left over from when we're making these flowish journals, or when you're making junk journals or trashy junk journals or anything like that. Just a really quick shout out to Rosemary Morris and her wonderful community at Facebook. Check her out on YouTube. She just does really amazing work, and she's very inspirational, and I appreciate all of the hard work that goes into her YouTube videos and her Facebook community. She's just a really bright spot out there. And hey, Rosemary, thank you for all you do for all of us. All right, let's get started. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to make some envelopes. Now, I need to be really honest with you guys. I cheat, okay? When it comes to making things like this, I find a template that I really do like, and then I trace it onto whatever kind of paper that I'm working with. In this case, I was kind of ready to change my desk paper, so I'm using some desk paper. Going to use that up. Now, this is a perfect little craft for the scraps that you've been creating. So, I just, this morning I looked at my desk paper and I thought, yeah, it's time for that to go. It still maintained its integrity and its cool look, and if I go too far, you know how that is. If you go too far with your desk paper, then it becomes a muddled mess, and I didn't want it to become a muddled mess. It was kind of just in a perfect state for me to use today. I always find, like I said, a pattern that I like, and then I carefully fold out a pattern. In this case, it was a little envelope that I thought it was the perfect size, and I really did like it. And this was the last one that I had in my stash, and I thought, well, I need to just go ahead and make a template for that. So the last one that I had wouldn't be technically the last one that I had. So that's what these look like. I accidentally put glue right here, which is why this one became my template. And then this is how they turned out using my desk paper. And I just thought that was so pretty. So let's fold this one up first. And I'll show you also how I kind of did the top on these. I just took some of those pattern scissors and did that. Anyway, I've already traced around this. When I trace, I use a marker, and I use this one. I use the medium tip of a Recollection Signature Especial marker, and this is a chestnut color. This is one of my favorite markers, and I don't know if I'll ever be able to find one again. I've traced around this. I've cut it out. I need to cut the top out now. So here it is, y'all. Find something you like and then just make a pattern. No measuring, no fussing, no, this has to be this way, this has to be that way. When I'm not a good measurer. I would be a super poor seamstress. My mom is an extraordinary seamstress, and my grandma was an extraordinary seamstress, and I don't know what happened to me because I am not. And so I really do have to take shortcuts. I have to create hacks, because when it comes to measuring something, I can measure it 2 or 3 or 4 times and still get it wrong. it's a little frustrating, but I really did have to overcome that if I was going to play with crafting, if I was going to be happy when I was crafting. And I think that's very important, to be happy when you're crafting. I've cut this with regular scissors. I'm going to go back with these little pattern scissors. Just cut. Did you hear a cronk? Oh man, what are you doing, Mr. K? You got the grumpies down there. Alright, so we just kind of created that little scalloped edge pocket right there. Now I'm going to glue this together, and it will look so nice. You guys just won't believe how sweet it looks. Turn this up like that, and fold this in, and then fold the other side in. Do a bit of glue right here. You can use a glue stick if you want to. Do what makes you happy. Do what's easiest for you. And then I'm just going to kind of snip that off up there. So we've made that little, that little pocket-ish textured thing. Alright, this is the first little envelope that we have made, and we're going to make another one, but let me grab my flow journal and go ahead and stick this one in. Choose a place for it. I do like to put them like here, but I already have a little envelope here. Oh, I think it will look pretty right here. Oh yeah, that's very pretty. We'll just glue that in, and boom, we've got a little pocket right here. I really do like the way that looks with that yellow. Kind of makes it pop, doesn't it? Alright, cool. The second envelope that we are making looks like this. This one came in some Happy Mail, and I just thought it was just super cool because it's tiny, and I love tiny things. And then there's the word friend on the back of it. So I folded this out and traced it and then folded it back together, and I'm very pleased with the way that this turned out. And look at that. Isn't that neat? So little. So fairy-ish. Alright, so the way we did this was we're just going to flip this corner up. Uh-oh. Chickens. Is it the chickens? Oh no, chickens. And fold this. And this up too. Alright, now we're going to just glue the sides down. Now look how small that is. That is just the perfect size for a scrap piece of paper that you might have left over, when you're doing your journals. And then this comes down like this, and you've got just the sweetest little envelope. It just turned out so well. I am going to go ahead and put this one in our journal. Find a good spot for her. What you doing, buddy? Oh, yeah, that's pretty right there. And we'll stick that one in. And of course, we'll put some little goodies in there, maybe some little Prima flowers or something like that. So when you flip that open, you're going to have a little surprise in there. Our envelopes are awesome. They're so cool. Okay, we've done our 2 envelopes. Excuse me, guys. We're going to work on some photo corners. I really do like using photo corners in my flow journals and in my junk journals, but I often find that they're small. They just aren't big enough. So these are 3x3 pieces that I had left over from making a journal. I think these might have been left over too from I was using some of this to make cards as well. So this is a 3x3 square, and it's double-sided, so you can use either side you want. And we're going to fold these like that. Again, no measuring. If it's not simple, I just can't handle it. Alright, so we're going to fold this way, and then we fold this way. And then on the open end, I'm going to put a little bit of glue. And I'll show you why I like these. One thing, they're super simple. I like simple. I've got some glue on my fingers, so I'm going to go ahead and use that there. I might have to let these dry for just a second. I should have glued that, y'all, before I turn the camera on. Alright, let's grab our journal. And I'll show you why I like these so much. You're going to place your photo corner like that. Okay. And the cool thing is that when you make photo corners like this, you've got a space here to tuck something into and a space here. So let's just tuck something in there real quick. Now we've got a tuck space here, and we've got a little, let me grab something else. Here we go. Got a little tuck space in the front when you make just these square little corner pocket things. So those are super cool little photo corners. We'll put one here. And we'll grab something off the stack up here of tiny things that I haven't used yet. What do we have up here? I'll just use this. And there you go. It really expands the flow journal. It gives you, I mean, you've got this little thing created 4 places for you to tuck other things into. And I know we all love tuck spots, don't we? Oh, love them. Alright, so we've done our envelopes, our photo corners, and next thing we're going to tackle is some glassine envelopes. And I'll show you how I did mine. There are lots and lots of tutorials about glassine envelopes. So you just Google whatever you want and figure out the best way for you. The best idea that worked, the idea that worked for me was I had a pad of tracing paper upstairs that someone had given to me. And what worked for me was putting, this is just tissue paper that my friend Jeannie sent me. And it's stunning, isn't it? It's just incredible. So of course I took what she had packaged in there and kind of smoothed it out and, you know, put it in my little stack, in my little stash of tissue paper, and I just thought it was so pretty. So what worked for me was using the tracing paper, and then I used some Liquitex Professional Clear Gesso to adhere this tissue paper onto the tracing paper. This worked great because this Liquitex has a little bit of a tooth to it, and of course it's an adhesive, and it also you know, gives you that nice gesso kind of feel to it. So it has some tooth. Thank you, Joy, for this. It's just awesome. I really love this, and I use it in a lot of different ways. And then, because when I make a glassine envelope, I just really need one side because I'm going to glue this into my junk journal or my flow journal or whatever I'm working on. So I just folded it this way. It does take a little while to dry. I used my handy dandy heat tool, and I really appreciate my pal that gave me the handy dandy heat tool because I didn't have one. I was using a hair dryer and it exploded, and my friend saw my post about that and she was like, hey, I got an extra, and I was like, yes. So what I did was I just did mine at 2.5 and got out my paper cutter and just measured 2.5. And that is how I made my little glassine envelope. You know, easy peasy, y'all. Wasn't, you know, no measuring, no tabs, no nothing. And then what I did was just put a little bit of glue on each side. Give it a little bit of a rub with my finger and fold it up the tissue paper. And that made my bag. At the top, I took out my the scissors that I've been using, and these are such handy little things to have. And just cut along the top. And then that made kind of like a scalloped edge for that one too. And they turned out great. This is like exactly what I needed. We'll grab our journal and we'll stick in a glassine envelope. I'm really happy, y'all, that I kind of dived into this little series because it's given me a lot of ideas about things that I can play with when I'm making my flow journals. And I have to tell you that I'm kind of excited about it because I've thought of a lot of fun things that I can do to kind of jazz things up. I obviously love making flow journals, and I love making junk journals, and I love making books, period. Jennibellie was my first teacher, and I have always adored books, and making them is just, I tell you, it's like heaven to me. I just really enjoy it. So we have put our little glassine envelope in there. She's really coming along. She's getting kind of chunky there. The next thing we're going to talk about is making a cigarette box. When I was in Las Vegas to see Aerosmith a couple years ago, there are these machines, and they're converted cigarette machines. They're called art-o-matic machines. For $5, you put $5 in the machine and you get art. In my case, you know, as fate would have it, I got some tiny books from Rags and Bones in McMinnville, Oregon. Can you see that? Oh my goodness, they were so adorable. And I forgot to bring them down so I could show them to you. I've got them upstairs. But check out Rags and Bones. It was so cool. So I had a little cigarette box pattern. And I'm going to find a cigarette box pattern for you guys, because all you do with this one is you trace the pattern, and then you just fold it up, you know, to remake your box. The way that I'm going to use these in my journals is I'm going to flatten them, and then I'm going to stick them in a pocket. So whoever gets the journal can reconstruct the cigarette box and maybe put things in it, or you know, use it for storage or something like that. I just thought it's a fun, cool idea. And you know, I mean, cigarettes are well, I have opinions about that, so I won't talk about that. But the cigarette boxes are cool. You know, you can just stick them in there, and it's something for somebody to construct. It's something for somebody to work with, or play with, or do, or fold up and then give to somebody. I thought it was a really funky, cool idea. Art-o-matic, and this one is from Rags and Bones. So check out ragandbonedesign.etsy.com. Really cool stuff. All right, guys, we have done 2 envelopes, photo corners, glassine envelopes, and a cigarette box today. Our next little installment of this Using Your Scraps series, I'm going to make some paper clips, some buttons, and some paper tassels for you guys. So, hope you're enjoying the series, and I will see y'all soon. Take care. Bye.